got an extra difficult intro for tonight. So here we go.
Great.
Welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast with great movies, great guests, and deep film knowledge. I bring on three cool, interesting people from the entertainment world, give them three movies, and challenge them to pull out the most obscure actors they can. The deeper the cut, the more points they earn. But tonight, we're switching things up. Instead of deep cut actors, we're doing a movie and TV food draft, building the ultimate party spread straight out of film and television. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me as always, Alex Young, a man who doesn't like snacks at movies, so I'm not sure how he's survived this long in his life. Alex, what gives, like, you're not a snack guy at movies, right?
So here's the thing. It's not that I'm not a snack guy. Like, I went last weekend and it was the free popcorn at Cineplex. Yes, of course I'm going to get free popcorn. Like, that's insane. But because I see, 1, 2, 3 movies theatrically a week, I don't have the budget to be doing popcorn and the candy and the whatever, and I'll do matinees and stuff. So usually I throw like a flask of whiskey in my pocket or a nice canned drink, have like a little granola bar or something, and I just like have a little pleasant time with like pocket snacks. I don't necessarily need to like buy anything. Although if it's an evening or if I'm skipping dinner, yeah, give me a popcorn, give me a drink, give me coffee, whatever.
But you're not like a, I don't know what they do down in the States for Nick, but like you can do like the nachos and cheese. Like that's never up your alley, is it?
Not in a million years am I having that synthetic cheese that if you don't eat it quick enough is like, please save me. You're like, it got sentience because I waited 11 minutes. Like, I don't want that. That's garbage.
All right. I mean, fair enough. This is an interesting show we have tonight, Alex. We've got Nick from the Nickflix podcast, also from the Nickflix and Phil podcast, right, Nick? Is that still...
Nickflix and Phil at the movies, yep.
Nickflix and Phil at the movies. I was trying to think if Jeff and Alex could do something, and like, but maybe it wouldn't even be movies based, and we'd have to like have a podcast about some weird thing that...
we literally just took our two podcasts and combined them. We're like... The Netflix and chill is right there.
It's right there.
Okay, no, we'll just stick with it.
Stupid not to do it.
Exactly.
So before we started recording, Nick and I were on I won't say a rival podcast, but another podcast called Fillmore, which is also a movie game show podcast that Alex and Nick and we've all been on a couple times. And they were doing their 2026 movie draft box office. So you were drafting, I think it was 8 movies, seven movies, and whoever's movies earn the most money throughout the year, you will win.
Ooh. So I got my list right here.
I have my list as well. I wanted to double check it. And
look, it looks like I have light in my room now.
At one point towards the end, I think it maybe was my last pick, I tried to draft Disclosure Day. And Nick was like, I took that in the 3rd round. And I was like, oh, because it's the new Steven Spielberg sci-fi movie with
Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor.
And he's like, oh, I took that in the 3rd round. I was like, 3rd round? That's a little early. And we got a little heated. And he's like, better than Masters of the Universe, which I had drafted, to my fair, in the 5th round. I was not trying to compare the two movies. Mine was taken later. So it was just a little like... He was comparing my Masters of the Universe
there
to
needs to be context.
Sure.
I was drafting in the middle of 8 of us or 7 of us. So by the time I got to the 3rd round, every big blockbuster was taken.
Yeah.
My first 2 picks were Moana and Michael. Both of those are going to clear a lot of money. I mean,
and Alex, all I have is sequels for the most part. It's like Toy Story 5, Dune Part 3, Fokker-in-Law, Scary Movie 6, Ready or Not 2, and Violent Night 2.
What's hard about this draft is it doesn't matter what a December movie does in January. So like Dune Part 3 or Doomsday could both be billion-dollar hits, but if they don't do it in December, you don't get the points for that. So,
wait, how many of you were drafting?
There was like 7 of us.
Oh, that's
7 or 8.
So after like 2 rounds...
After 2 rounds, it was slim.
You're like, and that's why I took
2 wild cards.
Yeah.
You could pick. There was 2 wild cards. A movie between January and June was 1 wild card spot, and it means like a movie that we didn't have on our list. And then there was a wild card between July and December. So one of my draft picks was that because I was like, once we got past the first 3 or 4 rounds, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like
It's a crapshoot.
Like June and July are so stacked that even movies that could do well might not get you a ton of points.
Who got Doomsday?
That was like the first pick.
It was
Yeah,
the first
figured.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think
Who
I was
took it?
drafting. Yeah. I don't know, some guy.
Yeah.
All right,
so
fair enough.
only Jeff and I were the only ones. You're the only one I knew.
Yeah, it was other guys
and
we had
Shay.
played with. Yeah, Shay and Jordan and some other guys from the show.
The biggest steal was the guy who picked right after me realized in the first round nobody took Super Mario Brothers, the sequel. And I'm like, how the hell did I was looking right at the list and it's going to clean up in March.
I think I was third or fourth and I had Toy Story. So I was
that's
like, well,
right. Yeah, Toy Story 5 is going to be a lot of money.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's going to take. And then on the way back, I'm like, well, I got to take Dune in hoping that it gets pushed to November or something. Or makes 800 million.
It'll do well though. It'll do well. It'll do well in December.
It was much harder of a draft than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, by the end I was like, I don't even know what these movies are, right? Like I was like, I guess I'm taking Violent Night and hope that it makes $100 million kind of thing.
Second one?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Well, listen, we've talked about these movies for too long. We're here for a food draft. And I know Nick loves drafts, so that's why I wanted to get Nick on. We've done a lot of drafts on Nick's podcast, but we have someone else with us. Joining us today, she's on Instagram as Neighbour Becci. We're just going to call her Becky tonight. I've seen her trying some of the most interesting foods over the last couple months, and giving us her feedback and her reviews on that. Becky, I got to wonder, as much as Alex doesn't like snacks at movies, I was amazed that you had not had eggnog until this last year. Like, it's one thing to say, I don't like eggnog, but you had never even tried eggnog?
First of all, it's because the name is horrifying. They need to do a rebranding on that. Eggnog sounds disgusting. And I don't want to drink egg-based drinks. I just don't want to do it. I mean, mayonnaise is made primarily from eggs. So we're going to drink mayonnaise. If we're going to drink mayonnaise, then we should have eggnog. That's how I feel about it. Eggnog is spiced mayonnaise, and I stand by that. It's horrible.
So you didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. No, it's great. No, I don't like it. I don't like egg drink.
I like eggnog. I mean, I won't sit there and drink a giant glass of it, but I will.
Yeah, because you'd throw up, and I don't want to drink a full glass of something that would make me throw up. Do you know what would never make me throw up? Coke Zero. I can trust it. Always.
So you don't train like Rocky does with drinking the raw eggs?
Absolutely not. I'm fueled by Coke Zero and movie snacks. I can't believe, Alex, you don't have movie snacks. The image is burned in my brain of you unwrapping a little like Nature Valley granola bar and crinkles and everyone's mouth.
No, they're no name brand. Come on.
While taking a shot of his flask.
Yeah,
that is happening. Especially, listen, more whiskey is brought depending on what I think the quality of the movie will be. Like if I'm seeing Hamnet next, I'm not bringing it. If I'm seeing Anaconda, it's going to be a big pour.
I can just imagine the couple behind you who are like, he's got a flask. Wait, something's coming out of his pocket. It's a granola bar.
I don't like that phrasing. That sounds bad.
Alex, I have one worse than you. I used to sneak in KFC snackers in cargo shorts in the pockets.
Amazing.
And
I
one
think I've
time,
had a Whopper at the movies before. Where I stuck a Whopper in.
I heard someone as I was like taking it out, and the smell of the KFC snacker like filled the 3 rows around me. Someone was like, "Someone have chicken?" And I'm like, "No, not me."
It would be better if it was just a bag of rotisserie chicken. That would be amazing.
Yeah, like a Brenda in Scary Movie 1, when she brings like an actual rotisserie chicken.
But no, I have a movie theater spoon that I take with me. Like I take movie snacks seriously, so this is a serious thing for me.
So what do you eat with a spoon? Yeah, what's getting on the spoon?
Well,
movie soup.
One of my most embarrassing moments happened at a movie theater once, and I vowed to never have it happen again. I like to triple layer my butter on my popcorn. That's what everyone should be doing.
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't. And then I like to go over to the free butter center and give it an extra drizzle. So I had very buttery fingers. It was the summertime. I forgot napkins. So in the movie, I'm rubbing my leg. And all of a sudden I look down when I get out of the movie theater and I have butter leg. Just a sheen of a butter glaze on my leg. So I go into the bathroom. I'm like, obviously I must wash this butter off my leg. So I've got the hand soap. I'm rubbing my leg. And then I thought the bathroom was empty. Lady comes out of the stall, looks at me. And I got so flustered. I was like, butter, it's butter. And she, without washing her hands, zoomed out of that bathroom. And that was the day I was like, I am bringing a spoon to this movie. And then so now with my buttery popcorn, I eat it with a spoon.
Like
No
cereal.
mess.
Yep. I mean, we did
Okay.
have a friend of the show came on and he talked about how he likes to put the nacho cheese on his popcorn.
Hmm.
And he says the problem is though, if it's so warm that it like, and popcorn once it gets wet, kind of like shrivels up. So he's like, you end up with kind of this like mush of popcorn and cheese. So I think he was like, you need to eat it with a spoon as well, if I'm not mistaken. So
Or you could get
Or
some
don't eat
chopsticks and dip it in the cheese, although I wouldn't do that. But now I'm thinking about it.
now you're thinking about it.
That is how I eat my Cheetos. I eat my Cheetos with chopsticks.
So
'cause to
smart.
avoid-
Yeah.
Alex, you eat everything with chopsticks. Alex and I used to sit across from lunch for many years, and he would pop out his little bento box of like sliced meat, cheeses, and crackers, and eat everything.
Sir, they are
just-
bootleg Lunchables, and you will address them as
Imagine him eating like a sub sandwich with 2 pairs of chopsticks. He's like, this is really difficult.
I team Alex on this one, Jeff. You chopsticks are a utensil. What can you do?
I mean, they
It
are.
came with the bento box, and that's where I put in my meat, cheese, crackers, other little treats, and then what am I gonna just put them aside on the table? They're there. I might as well use it.
Becky, you also I watched a little clip. You told me I don't have to promote your podcast, so I won't
No.
say it by name, but you do have
I don't
a podcast.
like to be
You have to
perceived.
keep it a secret.
Yeah. But you were talking about how much, and I think you were discussing holiday meals, and you were talking about how you love ham.
I fucking sorry.
And
Not too
that's
much
okay.
swearing. I love
no, you can
ham.
swear as much as you want. It's fine.
I
Fuck it.
love
Fuck it.
ham. If I get one
Fuckity
fuck, I
fuck.
fucking love ham. I love ham so much. No one in my family likes it, so we have turkey.
So, and you were shocked when the girl told you that you could just buy like those little hams that you don't even really need to cook. Like you just need to like heat it up.
It
kind of
seems
thing.
like cheating.
It does. So, okay. And Alex, you know, sometimes we all have a stupid question. We know it's a stupid question. It's something we should probably know, and we're gonna ask it. I'm gonna ask it anyway, Alex. I'm gonna put myself out there.
Okay.
Those
What's
little
ham?
hams. I know ham is a pig and it's pork, Alex. I know that. But I'm just, and especially those giant like spiral hams. You know, like the big ones with the bone in it.
I see.
Where's that? Where's that coming out of the pig?
Is it the ass?
I think
Like
so. I think it's
Because
the rump.
that's like because it's big,
No,
right?
you're-
Like some of those,
You are
they're
right.
huge.
They are huge.
And I know
I
pigs
think so.
pigs are like can be 1,000 pounds, but it was just like what part of the animal where that is all
I think
meat?
it's like the ass thigh of the
Okay,
pig.
because I was like,
Yeah.
mean,
yeah. So I was
What's
wondering
the
those little
bone that's in
hams.
it? Maybe it's like upper leg.
Is it? It's like yeah, or is it? It's like spine or something.
Maybe it's like
Well,
a chicken leg situation.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
Google
getting
it,
The
and we're gonna
leg,
see how
the
close we are.
thigh.
Nick's gonna Google it.
Please
So
do.
then- My first follow-up question. So it's not the dumbest question, I guess, is what we're saying. Everyone's
all.
kind of like, but then those little hams, like those little maple leaf,
Yeah.
hams that you cook in the oven. What is that? Is it just compressed
Essence.
pig
And
product?
is it like chicken nugget?
Yeah, that's what I was
it's
okay,
puree
we were
shaped.
kind of correct. It says
Okay.
that a holiday ham, which is like the name
Spiral,
of
yeah.
it, spiral, comes from the hind leg. So
okay.
specifically, it's basically the thigh. It's
Okay.
So you're
thigh
getting
and
like
the leg.
you're getting like two of
You're
those
getting
out
that
of each
round, yeah.
pig.
Mhm.
Question: how many vegans listen to this show? Apologies.
I
to
mean,
the
I
We don't
I
get those metrics.
I barely know how many people listen to the show, let alone how many.
You don't
are
have-
vegan.
You don't have the notes on
Well,
that.
come on.
Yeah.
Deep cuts is huge in the vegan community.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably one or two for sure.
Okay. Apologies
yeah.
to you, vegan listener.
No. So yeah, Alex, I that's what I was thinking. There's those little hams. Is that essentially just the equivalent of a chicken nugget, but in
I bet you it's like
pig form?
it's like
Just
a
the
loaf.
compressings. Yeah, like a turkey loaf
must
or a
be.
ham loaf.
There's a lot of
Okay.
water going on in there. But I
Those
love
are
it.
pretty good though.
I
Wait,
think yeah,
as
and
part
they're
of my intro, can I ask you a question?
yeah, bring it.
Okay, so as my intro, I want to ask you, because I'm curious as I've been listening to episodes now, how do you make sure that guests don't cheat when you're doing the
Well, we're
are you just taking their
A-
word for it?
yes, A, we're taking their word for it. B, we're always on camera for the most part, other than a few sprinklings of times where like there's been issues, everyone's been on camera. So it would be pretty obvious if
You
somebody
could
was
kind
like,
of
yeah.
have you ever
And you
suspected
can-
someone of cheating?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not
Have
going
it
to say
happen.
who they
You can
are.
You can hear the keyboard.
You can hear the
Oh.
keyboard.
Yeah.
They don't listen to the show anymore, so I'm going to freely talk about them without saying their name.
Okay.
we did a movie, and the first 3 or 4 rounds they were terrible.
Okay.
Like
Which we
very
had played-
surface. Yeah,
we'd played with them before it was a podcast. Like we were familiar with this person, and they were never very good at the game. But that's okay. It's just fun. That's okay. But then Jeff, go ahead.
they came on, and through 3 or 4 rounds were just surface level stars, and then all of a sudden like dropped 2 or 3 like just like
Golden
boom,
nuggets.
and I was like, where did that come from? And then so after I was editing it, and at that point we were on camera, but we were only doing audio output. So I was listening to it and like had this channel soloed,
Yeah.
and I could just hear like click, 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 and then it was like David Hasselhoff, and I was like, where the hell? And that'll probably give it away if anyone wants to go back and look at what movies David Hasselhoff spit in.
You find out the
but I know,
drama.
yes, I know the person doesn't listen to the show.
Well, I'm a huge cheater of games, and I would be really, really tempted to cheat. I
mean,
will cheat at any game I
it's
can.
tough. Like the first time Alex hosted a Christmas episode, he kind of gave like, and so we do give people a heads up now, especially if we're having on an actor whose all their movies were from the 80s, and maybe
Right.
people haven't seen them in 40 years. I'll be like,
Right.
listen, it's going to be these movies. Please go ahead and watch them, but don't like look them up on IMDb and like make notes of it. Like, go watch the movie. But Alex, the first time around, he's like, listen, it's going to be 3 Christmas adjacent films. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I did not know that it was going to be Elf, but I was like, I think it's either going to be Elf or Love Actually was where I was going. So, and the thing is, I've seen both those movies enough times that I didn't need to cheat. I just, in my mind, played through those movies and was ready to go. And he did Elf. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to crush it. The last time he did it, though, he gave me 3 musicals, of which I have not watched any of them in completion. So
I know he hates musicals. So I'm like, we're going to do 3 musicals.
So he's like, here's Wicked, Annie, and
oh yeah, you were not great.
Oh, I listened to that episode. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and I was like, ugh, this is terrible.
My favorite thing on your guys when you have an actor on is when they go first and they almost start rambling of all of the
they just list
actors.
every person who's in the movie.
I'm like, stop.
They give it away.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it could be
Jeff trying to be like, no,
this person. And I'm like, no.
You're not going to have that here. I have a black
stop.
backed binder so no one can see through my paper for my foods. I'm not having my foods be stolen from you.
So that is how we try to stop people from cheating. Honestly, it's whether you cheat or not, it's really just for fun.
It takes the fun out of it.
It does take the fun out of it.
Unless you have someone who's intensely focused on winning.
Yes. Now we had the episode has not aired yet, but we had one of the Lost Boys on, like one of the actors from the Lost Boys, and all 3 of the movies were movies he was in. And we got to the last round, and I was like, you can say your own name.
You may say
He didn't. He didn't do it, and he came in second. He would have won, but he didn't say his own name. So he was like, I wasn't really focused on winning. I was like, okay, cool. That's cool. But nice. I was like, you would have won. Yeah, like who was it? When Keith Coogan came on, only one of the movies was his, and he still crushed it.
Okay, that's
like he was like he loves that Hollywood kind of like history kind of thing.
Dude, your guests have been awesome. Like Don Lake, he was fantastic.
Don Lake was very nice. I don't know if you know him, Becky. He's from Don Lake. It used to be on the old like Super Dave Osborne show and like Bizarre back in the day.
He's the guy. If you saw him, you'd probably be like, "Oh, I recognize him from something." I mean,
he's Judy Hopps' dad from Zootopia.
Yeah, which
I
is hilarious.
have a very bad memory. I can't remember faces or names. There was someone who came up to me who was at my wedding. I had no clue who they were. I did not know.
It was your husband.
Yeah. She's like, who the hell are you? I'm married to you. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Haircut, sorry.
Bad memory.
Did you have any other questions for us, Becky?
Those were my main questions. I was intrigued of the cheating. Can I ask you like an airy fairy question?
Sure.
Okay, you can cut it if you want. I just want to know what was the movie that made you fall in love with movies, or if there's maybe more than one.
I mean,
not maybe that was your favorite, but just like, oh my God, I love movies.
So I think Alex and I have talked about it. Like the movie that got me into doing this was Interstellar.
Ooh.
So it's not like it didn't get me into movies, but it got me into the idea of like all these things are connected.
Discourse around movies in podcast.
Yeah. Whereas as a kid, and I posted it like a couple of weeks ago, like the movies, like everyone, my age would say, oh, I loved E.T. I loved
Not
The
me. Creep me
Goonies.
out.
Okay. But everyone had those like touchstone movies, and a lot of them were the same 5 or 6 films. We all watched Goonies, we watched this, we watched that, and I kind of went back to it, and I was like, what movies do I feel were different to me that maybe other people didn't? And like the Black Stallion is a weird one that I probably saw like way more than any kid needed to watch. A very like slow movie about a kid and a horse on a beach.
Ooh.
um Bad News Bears. Like there's a lot of like little weird movies that I would like. For about a year, like I grew up in the age where you would go to the video store and it was VHS or Beta, and you
Yeah.
had to grab the tag off the wall, and you were like, oh, like we've got VHS, but I can't get this movie. So I remember for about a year straight, I probably rented uh the Flash Gordon movie with the
Mhm.
Queen soundtrack and like Clash of the Titans, and watched those just on repeat,
Mhm.
and then threw in like DC Cab with Mr. T for
Ooh.
fun, and then like movies like House and Fright Night. Just I don't know, I think I like fun movies. And everyone's got that when you're like kind of like 8 or 9 years old, that movie that
Yeah.
that hits you. And I know for Alex, it's stuff like Armageddon and Con Air
It is those.
and those
Gone
big
in 60
budget like
Seconds?
action films.
Yep, that was a big one. That was like I was actually one of the first DVDs that I ever bought.
Ooh.
But for me, it was like Batman Forever, which was the first movie I ever saw in the theater with my dad. Listen, Warner Brothers did an incredible 4K scan.
That's the
of that,
first
but
soundtrack
also-
I ever bought.
Really?
Yeah, the Batman
Remember
Forever
all the
soundtrack.
Rose?
Donald stuff.
And U2 on that soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack. It recently got a vinyl re-release.
Ooh.
And like Godzilla '98. But the first one that I saw where I'm like, whoa, movies are crazy is Magnolia, which is still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh.
Yeah, we've
What
done
about
that
you?
one. Yeah.
I know, Becky, you're not like necessarily as much of a movie people as the rest of this podcast, but
Yeah, I think my favorites are usually the ones that people would normally say. Like, I was sick in grade 5 and my dad rented me Star Wars 4, 5, 6, and I was just obsessed with it. And then also Grosse Point Blank.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a child, I seriously considered being an assassin when I grew up because I just really liked that movie. But then I
It does
realized
seem
you
pretty
have
cool.
to go into the army, and I don't like people telling me what to do. The movie Clue. I was obsessed with Clue. And
We've done both those movies on Deep Cuts.
Oh, really? Clue?
Yeah, well, we did Clue towards the end of last
I
year,
didn't hear that episode.
and we had Michael Cudlitz, who was in Grosse Point Blank, on. He was, if you really love Grosse Point Blank, he's the guy that used to pick on John Cusack, and he's like really drunk at the reunion.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can't remember what his name is in it, but yeah, he was. So we had him on the show, and like
that's amazing. But then I liked a bunch of like Man from Snowy River. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I was obsessed with that, and I really liked Lake Placid for some reason.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
I love that movie.
Okay, because I don't like scary movies at all, but for me, this was just the perfect blend of. I just thought it was so funny. I loved it so much.
Betty White steals that whole thing.
Yeah.
Nick, what were yours?
Mine. So I watched a movie at a very young age that I shouldn't have, and that's what made me fall in love with movies. Is Goodfellas. It was like I was maybe 5 or 6 when I watched that, but because I knew Joe Pesci was in it from Home Alone, which me and my brother would watch those, and I remember the first time watching it, just being like, "Oh my god." It's not for kids, but I'm like, wow, this movie is amazing. And I grown up with my grandpa, and like he would always play oldies music. So part of it for me for movies was like what the soundtrack was. And Goodfellas has so many songs I grew up listening to, even though they were way before my time. And then Jaws, that was another movie. Again, I was like 5 or 6, just watching with my grandpa, just like, what is this? And the first theatrical experience that hooked me into movies was Saving Private Ryan. I was like 9 or 10. I went with my brother, my grandpa, and my brother had already seen it with my grandpa, and he's like, just wait till the first 20 minutes. It was like the thing in the movies when they show someone looking at a big movie screen and like, it just was, it like smacked me in the face in like the best way possible. I'm like, this is crazy good. And then since then, I've just been a big movie nerd. So yeah. Hence the podcast, which has nothing to do with Netflix. It just was a clever name.
I've also never seen The Godfather. I just want to get that out of the way because I know this is a serious podcast.
It's not a great deep cuts movie because I don't think people would know a lot of the non-big actors.
Yeah. And to be fair, like as much as we love movies, I am not a reviewer of movies per se. Like, listen, if you like the movie, great. If you don't, that's
Yeah.
fine. Like, I'm not, you know, and honestly, we've had some film critics on the show and they appreciate films in a different way than we do, or
Fair.
at least in the way that I do. And I don't think they appreciate this game in the way that I want them to appreciate the game.
I don't think they appreciate this game.
Such a misunderstood artist, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, what's the old like?
It's a very
you know,
abstract game, guys.
and I don't want to make fun of film critics, but there's the whole like, you know, those who can't teach and those who can't teach.
Sometimes
You know,
it can
so
just be a little bit lofty. I think.
Yeah,
you
so there's
just
something about
enjoy
film
the
critics
movie.
where it's like, listen, go make a film then, smartass. Like you seem to have a lot of
Yes.
you know theories about it. Let's see you do it, right? So until I've seen you make a movie, zip it.
Yes.
We have a food draft to do. So there's still some talk about what the rules are for this because this is our first time doing anything like this. So what we're going to do is 5 rounds. All 4 of us are playing. We're drafting food from movies and TV shows. Anything outside of like a full spread, I think is what we've decided. We don't want to say like all the food that was on this table at this party kind of thing. So it
Okay.
has to be either a plate that was served, like, and here's your meal,
dish.
or a dish,
Okay.
like, or a burger, a sandwich, a thing, whatever it is.
Question.
Yes,
So it wasn't in your rules. Do cartoons count?
totally do.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, totally fine. Go for it.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna try to see if people want to vote on this. We'll post it once it's all done. See what people. Alex
Nick is
question.
gonna steal one of my
Did you
things.
finish Becky's intro?
Not really. I mean,
I
Becky
don't-
doesn't want me to. She doesn't want me to promote her. So I
I
was
don't
like,
care about an
you know,
intro, please.
She doesn't want anybody to know that she's involved.
This is the
Yeah.
longest intro ever that Jeff
yes,
has
we're
given
at
for
27
someone.
minutes,
We can
and
cut.
this is Becky. No, nothing gets cut. That takes so much work on my part. So I think we're going to decide. I'm going to ask you all a question. I'm not going to partake in this. Usually we do a thing. We do the IMDb game. You got to try to tell me what the 4 movies are. So I'm just going to ask each of you this question. Becky, I'm going to ask you first. You're at the movie. You've been given a bag of popcorn. You can add one thing to this popcorn. What is it?
Butter.
Butter.
Yeah,
Right.
3 layers of butter.
3. Okay, specifically 3 times butter.
Yeah, it has to be
Nick,
3.
you can add something to this popcorn. What is it?
And it can't be butter,
A
right?
granola
I
bar.
think something
I mean,
else.
she's already got butter, so yeah.
Okay,
you-
so I'll put salt on it then.
salt. Okay.
Okay.
Alex, what are you gonna add to this?
I'm gonna add M&M's.
M&M's.
Ooh.
I was gonna say you were all wrong because yeah, like you know most yeah. So I'm gonna give it to Becky with the 3 times butter. It seems excessive.
What are you putting in it? What was the correct
I'm not gonna
answer?
play. I'm not gonna no. Like to me, I think I like to add a little bit of chocolate to my popcorn. So whether it's like M&M's,
But then don't you think
Do you do
Alex
snow
should have won?
caps?
but I do feel butter needs to be first.
feel
Maybe I
you
should have
penalized
specified
Alex.
you've been given a popcorn with butter on it. Now you may have gone, I'm going to add 2 times more
Butter.
butter to it, so it wouldn't have mattered. But Becky, would you like to go first, second, third, or fourth?
I'm going first.
Becky's going first because she's worried
Yeah.
someone's going to take one of her.
There's
favorite
one
foods.
specifically that I don't want anyone to take.
Alex, what do you want to go? Second, third, or fourth?
Well, now I'm panicked, so second.
Second for Alex. Nick, third or fourth?
Fourth. I'll go.
Fourth.
I'll get the wraparound.
All right, and that puts me in the 3 spot. So normally this is where we would say I would give you the names of the movies we're going to do, and then we would take a commercial break. So in this instance, we're just going to pretend to take a commercial break.
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Nick from Nickflix Podcast.
And I'm Phil from Phil at the Movies.
Phil, we should do a podcast together.
You know, Nick, I was thinking the same thing, but what should we call it?
How about Nickflix and Phil at the Movies?
Oh, I don't know. Isn't that a little too on the nose?
Of course not. Audiences love subtlety.
Well, I guess. Audiences do love a movie podcast, right?
Sure, yeah. I know at least my mom will listen to us.
Well, that's good enough for me. Come join us and check out
Nickflix and Phil
At the Movies. Coming soon.
You know, it sounds kind of like Netflix and chill. Wait, what is our podcast about again?
Movies, Nick. It's about movies.
Vague enough, but makes sense.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
We'll work on a sign-off. See you all soon.
We are back with Deep Cuts the Game. We are doing a movie TV food draft with Nick Flicks, Alex Young, and Becky, Neighbour Becci on Instagram, as you might know her. And we are drafting 5 courses for... This episode's going to air, I think, a couple days before the Super Bowl. So let's envision you're hosting friends and family for a Super Bowl party, potentially.
What's the party we're doing?
And or whatever party you want to make it. But in my mind, I'm hosting a Super Bowl party. And these are the 5 foods or drinks or appetizers that I'm going to serve. Becky, you elected to go first because you were very concerned someone was going to take your number 1 food choice. So I'm very interested to see.
I sent you DMs and emails about this because I was so paranoid someone was going to take it. So if I said it's from the movie Hook, what would that invoke for you? The Lost Boys here?
Yes, but that's a whole spread. So
no. I'm just going to take the bowl. I think it was a blue or a pink moose-looking thing. But when Robin Williams finally believes and he can see the feast that the Lost Boys are eating, there is this giant bowl, and it's either pink with like topping or it's blue, and it looks like moose. And I always, as a child, I need to know what it tastes like. So I am picking that as my number 1 draft.
That's fair. Because, that was the one thing we didn't want to mention it, but Becky mentioned, like, what about the whole spread from Hook? And I was like, that seems excessive.
Yeah.
Like, it seems a little unfair to be like...
But that's something I was looking at, though, because I'm like, there's a lot of really delicious-looking things on that spread.
Yes.
Alex Young, was that even in your radar? But now that
So, you know what's so funny about that is I was complaining to my partner yesterday about this thing that you because whatever you come up with, I'm going to complain about it. But I'm like, I don't know food in movies. Like, especially the last couple of years, I've been like training my brain to like remember the deep cut actors. I don't know what they're putting in their mouth, Jeff. Like, I don't know what's going on here. But immediately she's like, oh, imaginary food from Hook. And
yes.
I haven't seen since I was a kid. She's like, look, and we like watched it on YouTube, so I know exactly.
So
I would say my only concern with imaginary food from Hook is if your guests don't believe,
it's their loss.
That was not stipulated to me in the rules.
No, it's not. I'm just saying some guests may be there and be like, these bowls are beautiful, Becky, but there's nothing in them.
For the sake of this thought exercise, all of my guests believe.
Okay. Alex Young, what is your first food that you want to serve at your party?
So anyone who knows me knows that I would definitely be the person hosting a Super Bowl party. So that matters, but I'm reasonably confident most things on my list won't be taken. But I'm gonna start with the supplementary menu cheeseburger from the menu.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
I had that on there.
So the Anna Taylor-Joy cheeseburger, essentially.
Spoilers, cheeseburger at the end.
That's a good one.
And I am worried there are like no vegetable dishes or really any sides in my spread. I hope that's okay.
There's no vegans here. It's okay.
I think, and I think Lisa Simpson said it best is like or Bart and Homer said it in the episode where like you don't win friends with salad.
No, we're not trying to hit the food groups here. We're trying to have a delicious feast.
Okay, so that brings it
But wait,
to
in the movie, isn't she like, this is uninspired? I hate this cheeseburger?
Yeah, but I think
She's lying, we know.
Yeah, it's probably still pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she does eat it. Even after she says that, then she goes and she sits there and contently eats that cheeseburger with a pretty smug look on her face. I'm not worried that anyone's going to take this one, but I do want to start it off because this is the first thing that I thought of when I thought of food from movies or TV shows. So I'm going back. It's got to be late 80s or early 90s, but from The Cosby Show. I don't know if they actually ever show this food, but it's maybe only ever talked about. It's a bacon burger dog. Ooh. So it's a hamburger with a hot dog and bacon on it. I don't know.
Maybe just hold out the part on your list that says from the Cosby Show.
The Cosby Show. Okay. So much like Alex, it's a hamburger or a cheeseburger, but mine includes bacon and a hot dog.
So that's kind of like a turducken of the barbecue world.
It is. Okay. Yes. Nick, you get two in a row at this point.
That's what happens, cascading?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so you'll get your 2 in a row.
Yeah, but you're
not
gonna
too
have to
much.
wait. Like, so it's a good thing you took your Hook one because
Okay.
there is a possibility it could have been gone.
And it's
Okay.
funny, me and the missus were discussing Hook, and she goes, "Which dessert would you pick?" I'm like, "I think the blue one
Yes.
looks really cool." So it's
Mm.
good. It's a good one. So kind of like every I'm gonna do this since I'm gonna be hosting a Super Bowl party as well for this exercise. My first pick's gonna be the Cubano sandwich from Chef.
Mhm.
That
Very
looks
good.
so amazing when he's making that. So John Favreau is gonna make a nice plate full of those Cubanos.
Sandwiches.
Yep.
From
That was on my list
Chef.
too.
Yeah, I think it was weird.
Yeah.
The first time I had a Cuban sandwich was at like Panera Bread, of all places, and we were all like, "This is really good." To the point where, like, when we were in the States, not anytime soon, but we did used to go to the States. We stopped. I think it was at like a Myers grocery store, and they had
Hey, that's where I go grocery shop.
Cuban flavored potato chips, like the Cubano potato chips, and we're like, "There's no way," and it did. It tasted like the sandwich, and I was like, "This is good." Because really, what you just got to get like the pickle, the mustard, and like a bit of like a smoky meat flavor to it. So it's a good sandwich. Good sandwich,
Yeah,
Nick.
and the way he cooks it in Chef just looks amazing. I'm like, oh, it's good. All right, so because I want to have variety but still hearty food, I'm going with a Good Burger from Good Burger with Ed's special sauce.
Okay.
Very
This
good.
is good.
Good burger plus special sauce.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
are
I'm
my
not-
two main
I'm not
courses
opposed to
going.
going to this party, Nick. I would definitely visit right now. Like, I'm like, all right.
I kind
there's
of
a-
looked at like what would I want between
Yeah.
a Cubano and a Good Burger with Ed's special sauce.
Why not both?
All right, so we were back to me now. Vicky and I had talked. She asked, "Are you
Who?
doing drinks?"
Who? Bicky?
Vicky. Yeah, I'm looking at my list.
I heard
Becky-
Vicky.
I did say Vicky. I don't know why, because there's no V's on my page here. I'm looking at my menu, but Becky had asked if I was doing a drink, and so now I'm concerned she has a drink on her
Oh
list,
my god.
and I don't think there's a lot of drinks I could choose from. But I'm going to choose one of my favorite drinks from the Big Lebowski.
Oh,
We're going to be
fine.
serving White Russians.
Nice, that's a good one. Hey man, there's a beverage here.
I mean, I'm already pretty happy if like somebody came up to me with like a really nice bacon burger dog and a White Russian. I'd be like, this is great.
I've never had a White Russian.
It's
Oh, so
A lot of
Kahlua
dairy,
vodka.
but you may not like
There's
it.
a lot of dairy, yes,
So
but
I'm
it is.
hearing it's eggnog.
No, it's
No.
cream. It's cream with vodka and Kahlua.
But here's the thing: if you start off the night with it, you got to continue because of how much sugar's in it. You don't want to be like switching to other drinks.
But it's a
So,
nice,
yeah.
smooth.
But it's a smooth drink.
Yeah, you don't. There's not a lot of like awful liquor taste. It's,
Okay,
it's
this
nice.
is fine. You did not take my drink.
Okay, Alex Young. What is
right, back to me,
yours? Yep. What's your second?
So I realized that I had a burger, and I'm gonna do another just like meat, because I do feel like maybe somebody might take this one. But I want the Chateaubriand from the Matrix that Joey Pants like sells all his friends out for. He's like, I know it's fake, but it's delicious. I'm like, it's a good one.
That's like the steak that he's eating, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like
That was a popular
it's-
one when I was doing my research.
If you got to sell out humanity, I feel like it's a good steak.
Well done. That's a good one. But once again, it's an imaginary steak, Alex. So I guess visually,
So it's perfect. Then.
yes.
I'll cook it to perfection.
Becky, you get 2 in a row now.
Yes. Okay.
So what do you got? You had a very nice. You've got a solid dessert for sure.
Yeah,
we
so
can
I'm
go
going to go with
loose.
my appetizer. And a running theme is I do want people to have something that they never have had before and could never have with my dinner party. So we are going to go with, please correct me on my pronunciation, the Lemba spread from Lord of the Rings.
I saw that on some lists too.
I
Yeah.
just want people to get a taste of what it could be like. It might not be the most delicious dish, but it is something they've never had before.
And people would be like, "We had lambus bread. This is yeah." I wonder so it's not a real thing, right? Like is it a
I'm
thing?
sure there is some Lord of the Rings fan who has made it. I'm positive.
Fair enough.
But I don't even think it would be that good, but I just want it on my menu to have it.
I mean, because they're just eating that out of like a rag, right? Isn't that the thing they're eating the whole time they're
I could
walking?
put it in a nice little basket for my dinner party.
Yeah, but for them, no, but for them, the whole time they're like, oh, we're down to our last.
She's like,
2
bring
pieces
your
of-"
own rag.
I'll just pull it out of my pocket and hand it to my guest.
Becky, you get one more.
Okay, you're going to have to stay with me on this because it is technically a character in a movie.
Okay.
It's in the movie Spaceballs.
Okay.
It is Pizza the Hut. I would like to serve Pizza the Hut at my dinner party, and everyone could just take a little nibble on him throughout the night.
You
Do we
pulled
not
a
think this is
Shay
a
on
great
us.
idea?
with that move.
The food could walk over to you and to my guests.
Yeah, like, hey, pizza, I need another slice. And he,
Yeah, and you just take a little bite. You only take what you need.
was this the one you thought might also show up on like the worst food to serve at a party?
Yeah, because you are technically feeding a person,
A sentient being,
a
yes.
sentient being.
I
for sure.
thought you might go with, what was that movie?
Don't.
No. Okay, I'll
No,
save it.
just say
I'll save it
Say
to
what
the
it
end.
is.
Was
No,
this
I'll
your
save it-
first time on
Say
Deep
what it
Cuts, Jeff? Come on.
No, because I mean, what was that? The Jake Gyllenhaal Netflix movie? Was it like Okja or something like that? About like the
Did not say that.
pig animal that they've created to be like the perfect food, but it's like,
Oh.
and they're like, and this girl's trying to save it, kind of thing. And I was like, oh no, don't serve up the perfect pig hippo kind of thing for food.
Yeah, it's Bong Joon-ho. That movie's very stressful.
Yes,
Okay, then I'm not watching it. I don't like to be stressed out, so I'm taking Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
That's. I mean, it's definitely an interesting.
I feel like your listeners will be with me on this. It's
They
an
might be.
experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Alex Young, what's your third food? You got.
Well, I gotta say,
you got a lot of beef here so far.
I do, and I'm about to, and I'm all done with that. But like, I want to go to Becky's party. Like,
It's
I
an
know
interesting
that I'm
party, yeah.
hosting, but I didn't even think of doing fictional foods. Like,
Ooh.
and
I
sentient
did see it a few
ones
times
at
where
that.
I was like, oh, like this thing from this, and I was like,
Are you gonna lay a tarp down for Pizza the Hut though? Because I feel like if you sat on your couch, it
No.
would
I would have
probably-
cleaners come in the next day.
Okay.
I-
Because I'm
I've
like, that'd make a
pre-planned
mess.
this.
smart.
Yeah.
This is butter leg.
I would also
Very
ask
good.
my guests to eat non-threatening parts of Pizza the Hut. Like, obviously, don't eat something that he's going to need later. I'm not a monster. I don't want a limb taken off or his liver removed. Just, a little nibble here and there.
Just graze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I part of me wanted to pick literally every food except for the seafood spread from Hannibal, because like I know it's technically got people in it, but in that show, every
tasty.
dish looked amazing. It looked amazing. And I'm like, honestly, even if
Gourmet
it was
human.
people, it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
But
I think-
I opted
yeah.
not to.
That might be better for the worst food to serve kind of thing.
I don't know,
It's like-
man. That presentation.
was on point.
And if it's like Pizza the Hut, we're like, oh no, we just took like Frank's leg. He's cool with it. Like, he's always had gout, so that's gone. Like, perfect.
Has anyone watched It's Florida Man? The
No.
It's on my
series?
list.
It's okay. It's not great. Some episodes are good, some are not. But there is one with Sam.
Is it the new one on HBO?
Yeah, where it's like
Okay.
real life stories from
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
And one is, I can't remember his name, but he's from Detroiters.
Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson is playing the guy, and he gets a Craigslist job thing. The guy wants someone to come to his house and cut off his toes and then eat them in front of him.
Okay.
And he's totally cool with it. And that is the story. And it's played by Randall Park is the guy who, because like he's envisioning like who's going to be behind the door, and he's like envisioning all these crazy people, and it's just Randall Park, and he's like, hey, and he's like, he was really nice, and he was just like, lay me down, cut my toes off, and then fry them up.
Because it's from Florida, though, you can see it. You'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally makes
Like
sense.
that checks out.
Alex Young, where are you going with this one?
So I'm gonna do my dessert.
Okay.
And I'm going with a similar logic to The Matrix, where if you're selling our humanity for a steak, buy a very good steak. So I'm gonna take Becky. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. But the cannoli from The Godfather. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. The famous
Okay.
cannoli. Surely it's great. Also, I love a cannoli.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
That
going to
seems
be
like
good.
yeah, it's got to be right.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. I didn't even think of that, Alex. That's a great dessert.
It's a good dessert, Alex. Well, I'm going big for my dessert then, Alex. I had a couple
Oh
options.
no,
No, and I think some people like, because there's one kept popping up on all the lists, and I was like, that
you're
is a
gonna
good,
steal my
and
dessert.
I'm not going to take your dessert, I don't think. But and I don't know, I'm sure it has a name. I'll have to look it up after. But from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Fine.
the dessert that Napoleon eats when they take him to the mall, and it's just this giant sundae, and they make him wear like a pig's nose, and he's like, be the piggy," and Napoleon's just shoveling ice cream and banana into his face, and it's just all over him. So whatever the sundae is in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
didn't steal from you.
You'll allow it.
Nick, you get your third and your fourth.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with uh animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Animated
That's
late
different.
80s, early 90s pizza. It could have been from that show in a Goofy movie. They have it like just animated pizza.
90s
amazing.
cartoon.
It looks perfect.
90 cartoon pizza.
Yeah, it's the perfect amount of
So,
pepperoni. It's perfectly located.
it's drippy
Cheeseful
cheese.
is
It's
perfect.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so it's like, okay, I gotta go with that. And then I need some type of healthy-ish meal because right now I have burgers, Cubana, and pizza. So it's my kids' favorite, one of their favorite movies. I love this movie too. We're gonna go with Ratatouille from Ratatouille
Ratatouille.
because if
Okay.
Antonio loves it, then it must be good because he's a food critic. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's good. You know what?
That's the only way I'll ever try Ratatouille.
I like that I only have to
my
write down
record, so.
one word for this one. I can just
Oh,
write
just
down
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. I don't have
Yeah.
to write where it's from. It's just
No one's gonna go. Wait, from which movie?
Yeah. And it's when my wife, when I was like, "Hey, any ideas on food?" and she's like, "Ratatouille," and I was like, "I'm not serving Ratatouille at my party."
It is a vegetable dish.
She's like, "I love
Hey.
Ratatouille," and I'm like, "You're not invited to my party. Get out of here." That's a good one. Oh shoot, we're back to me. Okay, so I have dessert, I have a drink, and I have a bacon burger dog. So I think I maybe need another entree. I've got some solid. Some of them are ridiculous. So I'm gonna go with from the John Candy movie, The Great Outdoors.
Ooh.
He has to eat like a 72-ounce steak.
Yeah.
Is one of those like
Yeah.
eating contest
Yeah.
ones. So I'm going with the Great Outdoors, whatever the size of that steak is, 72. I'm just gonna write down 72. I'll verify it
Yep.
later, but 72-ounce steak.
That was one she told me to put on the list, and I was like,
I
haven't
mean,
made
it's a
And
lot of
don't
work
forget-
to serve to like
They have
all.
to eat the fat then too, because didn't he have to eat
I
everything?
mean,
the gristle.
That's if they want to
fat.
get it for free. I'm not going to
Mhm.
force my guests to eat it
Fair.
all. Just like I wouldn't force them to eat the giant sundae and wear a pig's nose. Eat what you can.
Okay.
Now, that's an
Alex-
interesting Super Bowl party. Wear the pig's nose and eat the Sunday.
Alex Young, you got your fourth. You've
So-
got you got dessert. You got meats.
I got a lot of meats. So now we're doing not meats, although I think there is a little in it. So when you told me about this, Jeff, and I'm like, I can't think of anything. That was a lie. There was one that immediately came to mind because it is so heavily featured in this movie. I'm hoping some people have seen it from 1985 called Tampopo, which is a Japanese movie with a young Ken Watanabe, directed by Juzo Itami, and it is it's essentially a parody of like every Western, but it's a ramen Western instead of a spaghetti Western.
Okay.
So it's like a Western done in Japan, but like it's basically like the bear, like they're making a lot of ramen, and there's like a very weird erotic food scene where at one point a couple like pass an egg yolk from each other's mouths. It's so weird. It's such a weird movie, but it
Lady
is.
and the Tramp could never.
Oh, it's terrific though. The movie's great. However, at the very beginning of that movie, and it's kind of throughout, but at the beginning, there is an incredible bowl of ramen. Like the nicest looking bowl of ramen I've ever seen. So much so that it was featured in like a teaser of like everything coming up this month on the Criterion Channel. We saw that ramen. My partner's like, "What's that movie? Let's watch that movie." It's Tampopo. We watched it. The opening scene is that ramen, and then we went to Ajisen Ramen at Young and Egg 3 days later and ordered it, and it is awesome. So I want the ramen from Tampopo.
Okay. All right. Love a good story. I'm gonna have to. What's the name of the movie again? How do you spell the name of the movie?
Tampo Tampopo.
Okay. Tam Popo. Okay, bowl of ramen. Becky, you've got your final two. At this point, you have a beautiful dessert from Hook with the bowl of mousse. You got the lambus bread from Lord of the Rings, and you have a walking entree in Pizza the Hut.
Wait, so now that
Slithering entree.
I get 4 and 5.
You get your last two. So yeah.
So now I could just talk things through. It doesn't matter if a spoiler escapes. Okay.
Yeah, you might give one of us like, oh shoot, I didn't even think of that. So, but that's
Because
up
I
to
was
you.
thinking of adding another dessert.
That's not a
It's your
bad
party.
idea.
No one's mad.
I have a clarifying question though.
Okay.
So I can't say the meadow from the Chocolate River like part of the Willy Wonka factory, can I? I would have to pick like
Yeah, you might have. I think from if it was like Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it would have. To
I would have to say like the Chocolate River or like,
the Chocolate River or a specific candy that they were farming or.
okay,
There's a lot of good ones in there.
Yeah.
don't
I
wanna
just kind of
kill
wrote
any
down
of my
Wonka because there were so many. Yeah.
I know, but it seems like low-hanging fruit. I feel like that might be too easy. I also threw around the idea of the giant cream-filled cookie from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm.
Oh my god, yes.
Wow.
But then
Yep,
what if
I
my
remember.
guests don't like oatmeal? I'm very torn. You know what? No, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to go with my drink, which is going to be the Cantina drinks from New Hope. So, wait, do I have to pick one cocktail or can it just be
Tell you
nice,
what,
colorful
I'll give
cocktails in the
you.
Cantina?
I'll let you have a selection of cocktails from the Cantina scene if that's okay with everyone. Like,
Okay, no,
you're
that's
not going to
great
be
for
like,
me.
here's a dozen drinks, but I think we could allow you. You've got a bartender that's like, hey, I can make these 3 cocktails from.
Yes,
folks.
okay.
You get the
Okay, so I
blue
have
one,
my
you get the
Cantina
fizzy
drinks.
one, so you got some
I
candy.
leave your droids outside. They're not welcome.
We got blue Russians using Tatooine blue milk.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So then, what's your final one, Becky? You got a drink, you got a dessert, you got some lambus bread.
Yeah,
you got...
I'm not going to pick any of my other desserts. I think, and this actually, my daughter gave me this one because I haven't seen it. My daughter said pick the sushi platter from Spirited Away,
Oh
Studio Ghibli, and the entire feast looks amazing. Like I was thinking about the steamed buns when I was looking at it, but I think just for overall enjoyment of my guests, because not everyone wants to eat a sentient pizza, a sushi platter would be nice. All the fish is dead. Not even walking around. So I am going to go with the sushi platter. From Spirited Away.
It's a very diverse menu for sure.
Which is what I was trying to go for.
No, for sure. Yeah, there's something there for everyone, I think.
But I really thought I should have gone for more desserts just because I do love a dessert, but I can't decide.
Alex Young, what's your final food?
So I was on my short list, and to Becky's credit, I did have the sponge cake from Spirited Away. That was going to be maybe one of my, because that whole spread, like you honestly can't go wrong. Everything's great. But I have to do my drink, and I was initially just going to say every cocktail from the movie Cocktail, of which I then made a list of every cocktail he serves. But I'm going to simplify it, and I'm just going to take the Vesper Martini from Casino Royale, which is a gin and vodka base, as opposed to vermouth, which I don't really care for. And give me that. Give me the cocktail, or give me the martinis. Give me the
Which one's that one from?
martinis.
Is that Casino Royale? Did you say?
Yeah, the Vesper
okay.
Martini.
All right. Okay, so I got meat, I got a drink, I got a dessert, I got more meat. I know I said I wasn't going to do anything healthy, but I don't mind a good salad. Like, I like a good salad. Like,
I do too.
So from the Jack Black movie Nacho Libre, he starts actually getting ingredients so he can make salads for the kids, and he's got like the chips and everything. I'm doing the fancy salad from Nacho Libre.
Okay.
I'm just calling it fancy salad.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only way I will eat salad is if there's like nacho chips on top of it. So
As if it's not a healthy salad.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, we don't have nacho chips. We got Doritos. We'll put those on top of the salad. You'll be fine.
That's a good idea.
Nick Flicks, it's your final
All
one.
right.
You don't have to do a drink. Everyone else has offered up a drink. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm not going to. It's going to be a BYOB at this party.
That's fair.
Or you can take water. But I will have a dessert for everyone. And that is the biggest chocolate cake ever from Matilda.
That was on my list. That was my other one. That was the first one. The first dessert I thought of was like just a piece of that chocolate cake that Brucey eats looks so good.
Save that for the fourth quarter, because after all this other food, it's gonna be like, okay, now I'm ready for this cake.
Well, what if there's
Cake.
blood, sweat, and tears in it? That's terrible.
Well, you better get a piece that doesn't have it then, Alex.
fair
No,
I don't know
you
what to
get
tell
it
you.
pristine, and then everyone gets a fork, and everyone just kind of
Yeah.
delicately goes at the side.
I don't
they
know if we're
decide
gonna
on.
all eat Pizza at Hut. People could share the cake. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's the least of our concerns. Did anyone have anything that they like were holding back? Was there any last minute?
Blue milk from Star Wars. That was gonna
I
be
was
my
holding
drink.
back
if I
a
would
lot.
find it.
I was gonna potentially the pizza from Fast Times at Ridgemont High that Jeff Spicoli gets delivered to class. Like
Ooh.
it seems to feed a whole classroom with just this one pizza, so that was a good one.
I was thinking about the steak and eggs from Twister. I was going to do that.
Oh,
The Aunt Meg
yes.
steaks.
Oh God, I didn't even think of that.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
choice.
I
Also,
saw
Right.
that one too.
It was too plain for me. I didn't want to pick it.
Shawarma from the Avengers.
Yeah,
The end
that
of
was
the
on the
Avengers,
list.
we're all
I
eating
saw.
That was
shawarma.
my husband's suggestion.
Ron Burgundy's Scotch. You just
Oh yeah, that's
but also who was it that Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec also loves a good Scotch.
yes, he does.
The meatball.
Nick Offerman actually has a couple brands of Lagavulin.
Oh,
I have
really?
one, and it has a whole big thing on the back that if you read it in Nick Offerman's voice is very funny.
I know we talked about Lady and the Tramp, and there was the spaghetti and meatballs, but the meatballs I was thinking about putting on were the meatballs from the movie The Wedding Singer, where the old lady comes out and
Oh,
takes
those
Adam's
meatballs.
the two giant meatballs. And I was like, does anybody want those meatballs after she's had them in her hands and
I was-
squish them?
I was thinking of the like pasta dish from Goodfellas when they're in prison.
When they're in prison,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I bet you that tasted delicious because they used a lot of good stuff in that.
Mm.
It's like a lot of stuff
I was
from
thinking
Beauty
of
and the
cheating
Beast.
too.
Mm.
You know the
Beauty and the
movie
Beast.
Julie and Julia?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that would have
The
been
Julia
fair.
Child movie?
Yep,
I was
yeah.
going to go through that and just start picking really delicious meals, but
Meals.
then I also felt like that was kind of fudging the rules a little bit.
Yeah, I thought about that one as I was out. I was like, oh, you could like. There's probably. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do the
No.
research on that one.
Yeah.
But that would have been a good one. I had written
Ooh.
down from the Blues Brothers, Orange Whip. That John Candy,
Oh.
which I was like, what's an orange whip? This sounds.
But I
delicious.
want it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. And then I
Mm.
mentioned that I looked at one TV show, and I don't think I chose anything from the show, but Seinfeld. You could literally go to like the soup episode, and there's
Yeah.
just like mulligatawny and all these different soups. There's the giant salad.
Black
There's
and white
the
cookies.
the black and white cookies. There's the calzones that Kramer has in his pants that he's like getting his pants cooked up. Marble rye. Yeah, there was a lot from Seinfeld that you could have. Mackinac peaches.
Mm.
And just cereals.
I was gonna pull, but I figured I'd let Becky have the fantasy fake foods, but I was gonna put Romulan ale in my list as well.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't like a beer.
I had
Well, I'm hoping it's Romulan ale like they serve at Stormcrow Manor, which is
Okay.
as opposed to
Okay.
like, yeah, I wouldn't drink a beer either. But the cocktail I've had is very nice.
Mm.
I was gonna do the vat of beer from the movie Strange Brew, where at the end where Rick Moranis has to go in and drink a whole vat of beer, and he's just the size of the vat at the end. I'm like, and once again, I was like, I don't really like beer that much, so it wasn't worth it.
Mm. There's also a movie with Queen Latifah called The Last Holiday, and she goes to like a Michelin star restaurant and has a really like 5-course meal. And I was gonna pick the roasted quail with brioche stuffing from that movie, but again, like I was more intrigued by Pizza the Hut, so I decided not to go with roasted quail. I went with the Pizza Man.
Becky, I didn't get to ask you because yes, like we said, your intro got kind of warped into our intro and talking to us. I know you did a bunch of different chip reviews last year. What would
yeah.
you say was the best new flavor you had last year?
Okay,
I know
forget
that's
the name
tough
of it
because you
now.
had a lot of different.
No. I know exactly what it is. It was this Dutch flavor, and it's Lay's chips. It was a
Okay.
Dutch flavor. I forget the name of the. It's a sauce they put with their French fries. I think it's called Joppy.
Okay.
Joppie.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I went back to the Dutch store and I bought 5 bags of it. I gift it to people. It's the best new chip flavor I have had in a very long time.
Did you try I think it's Lay's. They did like the flavors of Korea, and there was the honey butter.
Honey
I
butter's so
didn't
good.
like that one. It was too mild for me. I didn't get
Yeah,
much from it.
I didn't. I liked the first. Like I was like, oh, that's a decent flavor. And then after like a few chips,
But
I was
would
like,
you eat the whole bag?
no, there wasn't enough.
No.
Like you said, it was just a little lacking in flavor. So I was
I
like,
agree with that.
it was just yeah. But I was like, oh, that's a nice, almost like a dessert chip in a weird
Yeah,
way. But it
I
just
thought so.
yeah.
It wasn't my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and
But
then
not.
was anyone else thinking about the Pulp Fiction food?
I had
Milkshake?
the burger. Yeah,
I
like
was thinking
the $5
potentially.
shake would have been a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But yeah, you imagine like he was so excited about a $5 shake. Like that's so expensive for a shake. But nowadays it's like, can you
In
get
the
a shake
90s.
for Can you get a shake for under $5 now? No. Like even
Dude,
McDonald's
the pizza in Home Alone, it's like that'll be 122.50,
for
and it's
10
like
pizzas or
10
10 or 12.
pizzas. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's amazing.
It's a
Now
steal.
I don't know if we've talked about this. So I think we did talk about the price of the pizzas, how they essentially got like a large pizza for $12.
Mm.
Pretty good deal. Kevin then goes to the grocery store and buys like 9 things for $19. And I'm like, he's got detergent, orange juice, and I'm like, how is this even in 1990? There's no way this was $19, Kevin.
No.
This is ridiculous.
And they
So
clearly live in an expensive neighborhood too. So,
Yeah.
like, come on.
and he maybe was just at like the Piggly Wiggly or something like that, Alex, or
The famous Chicago Piggly Wiggly.
the Winn Dixie. I know that's a nice grocery store in the U.S. So I think what we're going to do with this, I'm going to post these all online. We're going to let our fans, and Nick, you can post it to your followers, and Becky, if you're willing to share to people that you were on a different podcast.
Yeah, only if people vote for me. Absolutely, I will be
I'm
playing
really
it,
concerned
and
about-
I'll be swaying the votes.
Becky has a lot more followers than all of us combined.
Okay, we don't need to say that. No, Jeff.
We got it. You're famous.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. You're followed by cool people and stuff like that, and Summerhill Markets follows you. And do you know anyone at Summerhill Markets? I was just wondering.
I do not.
No, okay, because I was gonna say my brother-in-law works there.
Sorry.
So I was like, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no. I was like maybe like they were like, oh, we really like Becky, and they've reached out to you, but no. Okay, well, if you need any connections at Summerhill Markets, I know a guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I do.
well, this was fun. I like this, Alex. I know you were like, this is different for us, and it is, and it's,
I had a good time.
yeah, I think our hopefully our fans appreciate it. We're trying to do something a little different. It can't all just be movie trivia all the time, Alex. Nick Flicks.
Why is it directed at me specifically?
You were
Yeah, Alex, come on.
You son of a bitch. Like, okay.
I will say I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to play the actual game because
Listen,
I think it would be
we would
interesting
love to
see
have you back.
struggle through.
Tell you what,
these
we'll
movies.
bring you back at the end of the year, and like you'll tell us some of your favorite movies, and we'll work from that. Like
I don't. That's not fair for me to pick my favorite movies.
Listen, we
Well, you
always
pick
ask
all
people their
we
favorites.
do it for everyone. We're like,
Yeah.
we're like, what are your favorite movies? And I'm not going to take like, I asked for a list of like 10, so that there's a little bit of a, don't tell me your 3 favorite movies, and then we're going to do those. But
Right.
like give me 10 movies, and we'll kind of, or even like who are your favorite directors and stuff like that. And you've already mentioned some movies now where I think we could probably do some. Star Wars is tough though, because they're not usually the deepest cast.
New ones are.
Yeah.
The new ones are, but the older ones are like, I don't know who this British actor was, kind of thing, that was in a helmet. Nick Flicks, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find Nick Flicks podcast or Nick Flicks and Phil at the movies, both on Apple and Spotify, and then I'm just on all the social medias under that. And yeah, it's we're gonna be covering the Oscars on the Nick Flicks and Phil one. We're gonna do like a little preview, and on that show we always do a top 10 at the end of the episode. So we're gonna do our 10 through 1 ranking of favorite or least favorite to favorite of the 10 Best Picture nominations. So
Can I put you on the spot and ask who you think
Yeah.
should win this year for Best Picture?
Okay, so I've only seen 5 of the 10, but of the 5 I've seen, I would. Oh man, it's tough.
I know what I would say.
I would say for me, I liked Marty Supreme the most of the ones nominated, but also Sinners or One Battle After the Other would be fine if either of
Sinners.
those won. But
It has to
yeah.
be Sinners.
See, but I don't know. The Oscars, Sinners also was nominated so many times. I have a feeling they're not going to win hardly anything because that happens all the
We
time.
see a
with
winning
That would
score.
infuriate
and a few
me.
others. Yeah.
My husband
Yeah.
and I were sobbing in the movie theater. That rarely happens.
I
For him,
personally would
I
pick
cry all the
Sinners
time.
over One Battle, but I think One Battle is going to sweep a lot of their stuff.
I think it's going to split. I think we're going to see one battle for Best Picture, even though I liked it fine, but I don't think it's the best movie of the year. For me, I think Train Dreams is the best movie of the year, and the second best is Sorry Baby, which was like woefully missed at the nominations today. But I think Ryan Coogler will get Best Director.
I want him to get Best Director. I want it to get Best Picture. I want it to get Best Editing, Best Sound, Best Soundtrack, Best Actor. Like, I want it to
And
win
all other 12 awards it was
everything.
nominated for.
Yeah.
No, it was
I'm not
nominated
even
for
a huge
16.
Michael B. Jordan fan. He acted 3 characters.
He ain't gonna win over Chalamet or Leo.
They give it
That's
Chalamet, unfortunately.
yeah.
I
it's gonna
mean,
go Chalamet.
I gotta be. It was pretty impressive that, like, when I was watching Sinners, and I was like, "Who's this other guy?"
Oh, that's just because you're racist.
And I was like, "Wow, they did a really good job getting a guy
look so
who looks a
alike.
lot like him." And I'm like,
He's like,
he's
well,
a really good actor too. And then I was
and-
I'm like, shit, it's the same guy. Holy
Yeah.
crap!
No, I
In the
think
credits,
he's
you're like, it's the
I
same
think-
guy.
I think he deserves a lot of credit for playing two twins who he actually differentiates them, where
Yeah.
you
Yes.
know it's not
Yes.
you're not confused
know
like which
Smoke,
twin is
you
he
know
playing.
Smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so no. I just think though, usually when no one's won any of the other award
know.
circuit stuff, they don't win an
know.
Oscar. So
But can I tell you my issue with Timothy Chalamet? He's very, like, does he not seem shifty to you? Not like he's a
well, then
rooftop
you need
strangler,
to,
but like
you need
he might
you need
be
to
a
watch
pickpocket.
Marty Supreme then, because he's
I
a
haven't seen
shyster in
it.
that movie and he's great.
I just feel like he's a pickpocket somehow. I can't prove it,
So,
but I feel it in my heart.
This is the hottest take, and I love it. I'm inclined to agree with Nick that I think it's going to go to Chalamet for no other reason than, like, he is, regardless how some people feel about him, Becky, he is excellent in Marty Supreme, because it's rare for me to actively hate the main character in a movie, but still
Okay.
want him to win, to still be
Yes,
rooting for that person,
yes, and
even
that's
though
what
he's a
so
piece
good
of
at.
shit and
He
every
is.
choice he makes is wrong. I'm like, guy, I hope this works out, but it won't.
And
good luck to ya.
he's in of that 2 hours and 30-minute movie, he's in like 2 hours and 28 minutes of it. I mean, like, he is in every scene, and he just has this energy in the movie that you're like, it's like a fever dream. You're like, man, he's just boom, boom.
A
But he's
fun
such
fact
a
about
piece of
me is
shit.
I never think I'm
Yeah.
wrong. And even though I haven't even seen Marty Supreme, I feel very confident that Sinners should win everything. And now you have a glimpse into what my husband's life is like.
Yes.
I am always
I will
right,
make sure if
rarely
you listen to
wrong.
that Oscars episode, I will put Sinners in the top 2 for sure. So,
I will be
like,
listening
okay,
to the Oscars
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
and I'll be giving my opinion.
Yes.
Becky, I found you on Instagram at Neighbour Becci. But you also have a podcast, which if people find you at Neighbour Becci on Instagram, they can find the podcast. Do you want to give it any plug whatsoever? You can, please do.
It's not my podcast. It's my
Okay.
beautiful friend Sarah's podcast. And then sometimes I just go on and guest host whenever we want to give opinions and advice to people. Generally, I'm screaming at her about ham.
And
I
hot
mean-
takes on Timothy Chalamet and how he seems shifty.
She's like,
I
he
actually
stole
think we
something
have
from
talked
me.
about that. She saw Marty Supreme and she loved it. And I really don't trust him. I wouldn't trust him with my wallet, my cell phone. I know he's a very rich man, but I think he would pick my pockets.
I hope there is a breaking news story in the next few months, and it's like
Like how they thought he was
Chalamet's
that
a
rapper.
pickpocket. Yeah. Go ahead.
Alex Young, what do you want to promote this week, my friend?
I mean, I can't top all these hot takes. coming out
No,
of my
no,
friends
we know
there.
what you're going to promote. It's a brand of granola bar, please.
It
Nature
is,
Valley.
yes. I've got my own granola
Sponsor
bar
him,
now.
please.
With silent packaging for the movies, so you don't
Mm.
disrupt anybody. It's
Mm.
very considerate. It's ludicrously expensive, though. It's $27 a bar. It's not worth it. No, I just my usual for me. You can find me on Letterboxd and all social media at the Alex Young. And go see movies in the theater, especially now that all the Oscar nominations are out. Go catch them while you can. But like half of those are available at home as well on most of your streaming services that you probably already pay for. So
Perfect.
catch up, check them out. There's some good movies out there and some stuff that got missed. Watch those too, like Sorry Baby. Everybody go see Sorry Baby.
I did see Sorry Baby. I watched it on
It's on
Hoopla.
HBO.
It was
Oh.
on like our library service here.
Yeah.
So I watched it for free. And honestly, Alex, I enjoyed it more than Train Dreams, which I watched like back to watch them like one day after another. And Train Dreams, beautiful movie, just not for me. Whereas Sorry Baby, I was like, oh, this is really good.
Fair enough. Those are my 1 and 2 favorite movies of the year. So
Nice.
no worries, Jeff.
Alex, this is the part of the show where you send me an outro that I read sight unseen. Now you did give me some pre-notes on this one.
I did. I typically don't, but in this one, I'm like, I'll let you prep a little. And my notes were maybe watch some clips of Richie
From the Bear,
Bear.
which I did, and it's not like he has like a Chicago accent or anything like that. He's just got kind of a a gruffness to the
Give
way
me
he
your
talks.
best Ben Grimm.
Yeah. So I don't know what this is going to sound like because I did not practice it. I did listen to him, like the part where he's like, cleaning spoons. I watched that
They're
scene a couple times.
famously forks. It's the whole title of the episode, guy. It's even referenced in this fucking outro. God damn it.
Well, there you go.
Well, batting
He's
1,000 here
He's
on
like,
Deep
I
Cut.
watched the wrong bear. Oops.
Yeah.
We are a movie podcast, not a TV
Not a
podcast.
TV
Fair
show.
enough, Jeff.
Okay, Alex, what's the actor's name?
Eben Moss Baccarat?
Yeah, there you
Baccarat?
go. He's one of those people, I think you could ask 100 people what his name is, and nobody would know what his name is.
He's in the first season of Andor.
Yes, he is. He's also
very good
in
it.
the Royal Tannenbaums.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a small.
He's got like a
small-
cameo. He's at the hotel where Gene Hackman stays. He's like his friend at the hotel.
But I don't even think that's considered a cameo because he wasn't famous then.
No,
I almost feel like he
he's-
was just like a young actor who's
Small
like
part.
in that
Yeah.
small part. Yeah.
All right, so I'm doing my best Richie from the Bear outro. I don't know what to do with this, Alex. This is
So that's on you, baby.
yeah. All right. That's it. We're done. I got to check the forks for smudges before the dinner rush. Honestly, I'm surrounded by children. Talented children, sure, but kids nonetheless. You know what scene I liked where he did the thing with where he had the napkin and they had to turn the napkin. I like that one, Alex.
Shut up, Jeff.
Shut up. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. And I hope you're out there wearing the suit, even if the suit is a metaphorical, it's about respect. If you aren't doing it with purpose, why are you even breathing the air? Thanks to Becky and Nick for joining me and my cousin today on Deep Cuts. Be sure to follow us anywhere you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening. And remember, you're not going to learn with just you talking. You're not going to learn with just you talking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're killing it. Keep going.
No. See you next week. God, these are
Got it in one, Jeff. Got it in one.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. See you next time.